How are you feeling? How are you doing? How's the celebration going for all of you? First of all, let me thank all of you for joining this session. I hope everyone is doing well and your loved ones are keeping safe in this pandemic situation. My name is Nikita. I almost confused my name with Nikita, who presented just a few minutes before. Uh, but yes, it's easier to remember. My name is Nikita Gandhi, and I'm a community manager at Google Developers India. And in case you want to share your experience while I'm presenting, at the rate Nikita Gandhi is my Twitter handle. So, first of all, congratulations to the entire Jalandhar team on the celebration of 6 years of Women Techmakers Ambassador Program and helping the fellow women in your community to come network and learn interesting topics through different types of activities organized by your organizers. All right, let me ask you again. How are you? How do you feel while you're listening to this session? If you can post your answers in the chat section on how you are feeling, let me modify my question and ask you, how are you feeling with your professional journey? Do you feel stressed in your professional journey, or do you feel excited? Do you feel nervous? Do you feel underconfident? Do you feel everything is going to be all right, carpe diem, or do you have some other thoughts? I give you 30 seconds to quickly post your answers in the chat section. Shivam feels wonderful. Aman feels great. That's amazing. Lovely feels great. Quarantine got no chill for Sudneet. All right. Loveleen is excited. Deepak feels struck in his professional journey. Someone feels underconfident. Someone else also feels underconfident. All right. So this was a mix of emotions that came in while I asked you, how do you feel today? While some of you are not feeling good, what makes you feel better? A listening ear to listen and hear your concerns. Someone with whom you can share your feelings. How do you feel right now? A friend or a group who's going through a similar situation. We all want company for everything that we are going through. May that be a celebration or may that be the saddest moment of your life. You always feel better when you have someone who shares similar feelings with you. And when you hear from someone who's experienced similar things in the past, high five, you make great friends with those people. And when you find a mentor who's been through similar experience in the past and helps you with right directions, there's nothing like that. Magic happens, right? All right, let's take an example. If you were in college and you were punished by your professor, what makes you feel better? Your friend whom you can call and say, "Oh, I was kicked out of the classroom today." Or your friend who was also kicked out of the classroom. And then when your senior finds you outside the class and tells you, "Hey, don't worry, I was also kicked out outside the class for not completing my assignments on time 10 times in a row, but I still excelled in my exams. But here's I can share my notes with you that can help you succeed in the exams." How do you feel about it? Right? So these are the feelings that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel heard, that makes you feel that you can pass through the situation no matter how difficult it is. But what makes you feel accomplished? There are little things that make you happy. If you learn a skill towards perfection, imagine learning a technology like Flutter and you know it to the best. Then you can be the source or you can be the face when anyone is stuck and wants to know about Flutter. You are the person they come and ask questions. Or how about taking a cloud associate engineering degree exam and you clear that exam? How do you feel sharing your experience? Or when you get some appreciation for the work that you do, when someone appreciates or applauds the work that you do, or if you get promoted while you're working. There are little things that makes us feel happy. But what makes us accomplished is when you give back what you get. So you might get success in the exam, you might get really amazing results, you might know something really well. But what makes it complete is when you are able to share your learnings and experiences with different types of people. So, what does the community bring for you? Right now, while you all are listening to this session, you heard from so many experts who were talking about their experiences. Like there were CEOs, there were community managers, there are so many more folks joining in who are going to share their experience with you. You are also making friends in the chat section. If you are not, I think it's a great time to say hi and hello to everyone who's listening to this session virtually. Mentors. What do mentors do? They help you understand a technology or a skill to perfection. So, say that there was a talk organized by GDG Jalandhar. Let's take the latest example of Android 11 session that was organized. There were a bunch of speakers. Perhaps some of you got in touch with those so that you can get some guidance around Android as you aspire to become an Android developer in future. If you have great ideas on top of your mind, you already want to start building projects and you're looking for people who are who might be interested in building projects along with you. And of course there are community WhatsApp groups, Slack channels, forums, YouTube, Twitter handles where you can share your ideas. So these are all the things that the organizers like Varsha, Vrijraj are helping and organizing for all of you to help you learn and grow with the community, right? But you also want to be a seeker to whom people can reach out to in case they are stuck. You want to be that person who can be the right source for anything and everything they want to know about a particular thing. You want to create an identity. All right. But while we all are attending sessions virtually, things may not be very obvious. You might wonder, how do I make friends in this online or virtual meetup? Or how do I connect with a speaker after the session is done? Or you might think, oh, how long this pandemic situation is going to last because I really enjoyed those offline meetups. I really want to go out, make friends at meetup, hang around with them, talk about something, take a break from my routine. So, what do you think? How will this COVID situation change the world? Do you think this is going to last forever? Or what do you think about the different things that have suddenly moved online with this corona situation? Why? This is not the first time we have come across this global pandemic situation. And I'll share one experience of Spanish flu which occurred in the year of 1918 and it killed 50 million people worldwide. Yes, you heard that right, 50 million people worldwide. So, 50 million? Were there more people killed or less people killed? There's no record to that. And that was the time where people did not even know how to wear masks. They were not easily available. Production factories were not as many as they are today. So, if you remember, India could produce PPE kits and other COVID related equipments in the very early stage because now we have well advanced with the latest survival kits in this pandemic situation. But in 1918, when the Spanish flu happened, there's no count on how many people survived through this. And perhaps working from home was not at all an option. And this flu lasted for more than a year. So it first came in the early 1980, where the situation was wrapped up by early summer. And again, this situation came back with a serious wave. In the second wave, it hit more people than it did in the first wave. And the third wave was much more critical than the second one and the first one. So, while all of this disaster was happening, there were so many things that could have been better. And while we are in this similar situation, we still keep wondering there are so many things that could be avoided and could have been better. But is it the sole responsibility of the government or the healthcare workers or the frontline soldiers to make this happen for us? How can you, as a developer, help in this pandemic situation? You can boost your skills with the latest trends and technologies. Now, why do I specify latest trends and technologies? Because the advancements are going to help you build products with less efforts and bring the best in the solution. So you can bring in interesting algorithms, you can write longer solutions with shorter lines of code with technologies like Flutter. You can manage large database with machine learning algorithms and store it and process it through Google Cloud or any other cloud platform that you prefer. Or you could apply the best security features to the app while you learn Android 11 security and privacy features. Okay, while you all have interesting ideas on your mind, it's important to build solutions that solve for a real world problem. And there are so many amazing solutions built already, but are all of them famous? Not really. So it's our duty to spread the word to encourage use of helpful solutions. So when I asked you at the start of the session, how do you feel? And all of you said that you feel in different ways. It's firstly important to talk to people to make sure that and let them know that you are here to support them. You are here to share your experience. So you might not have a friend who might go through similar problems, but you can make friends who are in similar situations, and both of you can find ways to deal with it collectively. And then I also shared an example of Spanish flu where there were so many things that did not go well due to lack of the right healthcare services and lack of technology. But as we advance with technology, it's an opportunity for us to build in amazing solutions and create an impact for everyone. So, first thing, as you are a part of this community, which is a developer community, connect with multiple folks in the industry. It could be just not software developers or engineers, it could be doctors, it could be people with the government policy team, or it could be someone who's taking care of, say, water dam or other such solutions which are not too much very associated with engineering, and understand their life at work. So when I say understand their life at work, doesn't mean what time they start their day and do they really take holidays on weekends, or what does their weekend look like. But try to understand what are the challenges they face when they go to work. What are the problems that you can solve as an engineer or as a developer, and work with them closely to build solutions. So while you identify these problems, work with the people to build solutions so that you can bring in amazing impact to the community. So you might not know all the problems that you can solve, but you can work with the right folks to identify these problems. So, examples of areas you can build solutions currently. These might not be really limited to healthcare. A lot of you would have thought about building, say, for example, a contact tracing app. But is that enough to solve for COVID? Not really. There are so many things. Like I spoke about tracking how many people were infected with COVID, and creating some learning algorithms out of the data that you collect. Or there are so many people who are deprived of education because of lack of online services at their homes. They do not have proper internet service, or they do not have the right device on which they can learn. So how can you solve for this problem? There are so many businesses which are drowning because they don't have the online technology to handle their businesses. So how can you help the nearest grocery shop around you to avoid the crowding at his or her shop while the lockdown situation happens again? Or how can he help the grocery person manage or track his inventory? There are multiple such possible problems that you can identify and build solutions for. And not many of you listening here love to engineer or develop solutions. Not all of you might be interested in development or coding, but you can be the voice of the products that are engineered. So, identify the challenges as we spoke about by working closely with the professionals in the industry. Or it could be a student who's trying to learn a new technology. Do they have the right documentation to understand that particular concept? What is it that you can help solve those type of problems? Network with the right folks to build solutions. Find the right talented folks or the energetic and enthusiastic folks in the community with whom you can work. With this, you can also get a really diverse experience, because the friends that you make here are not the ones that you chose because you think alike, but because you think that they are equally passionate about solving that problem. And spread the word to every corner of the world about the solution your team brings. So, this community has thousands of developers network. They can spread the word with their network of friends and families. So, think how long your product can go with the reach this community has. And it's just not about GDG or Women Tech Makers Jalandhar. Just like last year, Jalandhar team came together with Chandigarh team to organize their fest. After that, they collaborated with so many other GDGs in India to do different events like IWD, WebDev.live, TFUG. Uh, so if the product is really good, the voice could be amplified with all the GDGs in India and beyond. All right. To the most popular question, how can I contribute to the community? A lot of you feel that I want to do that amazing work. Varsha, Brijraj, uh, Bachu, and all of them are doing. You all folks also want to do. You want to. Someone aspires to be like Sonakshi. Someone is aspiring to be like Shubhangi. So, how do you contribute to the community? Is it about just coming and attending the session, or is it just about helping with the logistics? No, there's a lot more than that you can do for the community. You can help the organizers identify experts in the community for your next community meetup. You can help the organizers with some icebreaker activities or sessions. You can share your suggestions, ideas. You can help the community by writing blogs and sharing your experiences. You can make YouTube videos and help someone understand a concept that you recently innovated. Or you can help the community to be a mentor or be a mentee to someone who's willing to share their learning experiences. So there's so much that you can do, but there's one pledge that I like you all folks to take while we conclude for this session. One, uh, I want all of you to take a pledge to invite at least three folks in the next event. Can you do that? If you agree to take this pledge, I'd like to all of you to post this pledge saying, yes, I'll be happy to invite three folks in the next event. If you could post that in the chat section, I'll really appreciate you taking the pledge. All right. And another pledge that I'll appreciate, if you could decide to help three folks learn new technology, if you could help your juniors or someone who's struggling with their careers or someone who's struggling to learn new technology. It could be an experienced developer with more than 10 years of experience. If you could pledge to help three folks learn new technology by upgrading your skills and contributing back, I feel that this session was really fulfilling for me. All right. So, with this, I'd like to conclude saying leadership is not a position or a title, it's an act and example. So, not all of you can be called as organizers of GDG slash Women Tech Makers Jalandhar team, but you can lead the community with different examples that I shared. So this is how you can join the efforts of the organizing team and help Jalandhar stand out as a community in the entire country. So I leave you with three problems that you can solve. And these are really going to be challenging. So think about different ideas and definitely do share it with the organizers and tweet about it on how do you decide to help thousands of developers learn new things. I repeat the number, thousands of developers learn new things. How can you help hundreds of developers build impactful solutions? So when I say that you have to help thousand developers learn new things, think about they are distributed in different corners of the city. Think about the fact that not all of them know about the community. Think about the fact that not all of them are motivated to join community. So how are you thinking about inviting them to join this community? Think about how you can help someone who's got amazing ideas, how you can help them to build impactful solutions that can really solve for a cause. And I repeat the number, hundreds of developers who don't have an idea how to use the right technology, how to choose the right technology, who don't have the right team to work with. So how are you going to create networking opportunities for them? And how can you identify 10 potential solutions who do not have sufficient visibility? How can you add visibility to them and take it to the right consumers? Imagine a product that really solves for a cause, and how do you take it to the right consumers because it's not popular right now? May that be an example of vocal for local or stuff like that. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me patiently. I hope you have got ideas on how you can join efforts to to do bigger and better things for the community. These are the two pictures that I share with my memories from Defis Punjab. One was before the event. This was a dinner with all the speakers and organizers that I'll never forget because the food at Punjab was really, really amazing. I really miss the lassi thing. And yes, this hall full of people with so much of energy. I really miss the environment that offline meetups got. And I really hope things get back to normal soon and I have some amazing time soon in the next year. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a nice time. Bye bye.